this is the Process to Purpose, and this is the Process segment. And again, with Process to Purpose, our main goal is to help inspire and motivate people to find their purpose through the process of spirituality, health, and wealth, using godly principles and values to break through to the life that God has called us to live.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Robert, for having me, bro. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you being on, man.
Yeah.
We're here in the office, and you want to introduce yourself really quick?
Yeah. I'm Joe Morales. When Robert gave me the call, I said, "Hey, man, I want you to come into the show." I said, "Man, I know what you've gone through, and I love what you and your wife have become and what you're becoming." I said, "Man, I'll be there for you." And it's just awesome to be here, man. I'm super excited to be part of the show.
Man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you because it's funny because I actually just asked you like Friday, right?
Right.
We went Friday.
Like, yeah, man, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll move things and we'll make it happen. I said anything for Robert, man. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and it's funny because I actually just bought all this equipment for this show.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Literally, I once you told me that Saturday, I started searching. I started looking for all this stuff, the mixers, the mics.
Wow.
First time actually setting it up, so.
The power of intent, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. That's great.
I said I can't show up to Joe with just camera.
It wouldn't matter, but it's awesome that you're actually. I appreciate it, man. It's awesome stuff.
Thank you for having me. And then, here at your home. So just. If you can just really introduce yourself, where you're from, what you do, and we can get going with that.
Actually, it's pretty awesome that because Robert and I grew up in the same city.
Yeah, we did.
So we grew up in Monte, and it's crazy how we grew up in the same city and different career paths, but here we are together once again.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. But so I grew up in the city of Monte, California, and born and raised there. My parents are immigrants from Mexico, and so they came here when back in the early 70s.
Nice.
And I was born in 1988, so I'm actually 29 years old. And young buck, man, yeah. And so I remember growing up in the early 90s, right? 1994, and it was a crazy era back then, and especially in Amani, it's just a different era. I remember going to school and. People were either, dead at, in the dumpster or dead in the field. It was like, man. And destiny just has shaped itself. And
did we just mess up the live video?
I think we just messed up the live video a little bit.
It's all right. We got it going.
And so I grew up in Amani. I have an older brother. He's a veteran and he has a shop. He has
Muscle Geeks.
Give him a shout out, man. Yeah. Big shout out to my brother Eddie. He has a shop, Muscle Geeks. Look him up on IG, and then also I have another brother, Emilio. And then it's me, and then it's my sister. And so we come from a very good family.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
And you have a wife and two kids, right?
Yeah, wife and two kids. So I actually met my wife back in junior high. We were both in Cranston Elementary, and. Let me see here real quick. Give me a second, because you might hear some music. Just move it a little bit here. Right there.
All right, we're figuring it out.
There you go. And so I actually met my wife in middle school.
Okay.
And so she actually sat right in front of me. And
I remember the story.
So I used to just pull her hair and stuff like that. And who would have known that was gonna be my wife? I used to like her a lot. And I said, man, I love this lady. I want her to, I love this girl, or I like this girl. And who knew, man, pulling her hair. I walked her home one day, the last day of school, right? So I get a yearbook, and I put my name on it. I said, hey, I said, hey, can you please sign my yearbook? And I sent her a yearbook. I said, hey, I'll see you next year. I'm super excited, blah, blah, blah. I put my number in there. And long story short, she on my yearbook she put I'll see you next year. Yeah, right. We're going to different schools, right? 4 years later, she's looking through the yearbook. My number is still the same number. She calls it. My mom answers, and I'm going. And it's basically, oh no, he's not here right now. So he called his cell phone, and I was on the other side of the town, right? And I guess I was a closer back then too, right? She goes, hey, how are you? Always closing. He goes, hey, where are you? How are you? I say, hey, well, where you at? And back then in Amani, there's a place called Golden Ox, right?
Yeah.
And that's what she was working at the time. I said, hey, I said, I'm down the street. I'll be there right now, which I wasn't on the street. So I pulled up. I saw her. I said, oh my God. I said, man.
I hope she's listening.
I said, oh my God, is this the person that I once met? Like, totally different person. Older, of course.
Yeah.
But she was so beautiful. I said, man, I need to marry this girl. So she had a boyfriend at the time, and I had a girlfriend at the time. But so eventually we got together, and and then so it turns out. So we got together. 8 months later, we got married.
Wow.
Right. So I remember our first bed was a fold-up bed.
Yeah.
Like the spring mattresses.
Hey, humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings. I remember we sleep in the same bed. We're sleeping to the middle.
Yeah.
And it got so uncomfortable that I would sleep on the floor.
Really?
And that's kind of how we started. You know,
Nice.
Our wedding was a small wedding, and we just, we were just crazy in love. I say, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. Diving in first and kind of figure out like everything else. Right?
Exactly.
And we're gonna go through like what struggles you went through and how you started. But what I want you to let them know is what is your profession? What do you do?
Yeah. So actually with WG is World Financial Group is the #1 marketing company with financial products in the U.S. and in Canada. And so our company is a big company. It has $600 billion in assets.
Wow.
But what's crazy about it is our company is we're all entrepreneurs. We're all 1099.
Yeah.
And we have people like Marshall Falk in our company. We have people like top entrepreneurs. We have you name it. We have the author of Think and Grow Rich.
Nice.
Right? So when you look at so there's two things that we do. There's a component where we help families financially. And there's another component where we actually help people become entrepreneurs and chase their goals.
Nice.
Right? Because there's a difference between surviving and life and surviving and chasing your goals at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? Most people are just surviving just to survive and just get a job because it's okay for right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So it's a big difference.
Yeah.
So our company is our philosophy as a company is, hey, there's no device ever made, right? That can say, hey, this guy right here, Robert, is a champion. Right? Yeah, he's a champion. There's no device, right?
Yeah.
See, I think that these days a resume lies to you,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
I personally think that. I mean, and it's no disrespect to anybody, but here's what I know: there's a lot of good people out there that have a big heart, that want to give, that have a purpose, that want to help people, and they have a mission, but they don't have a platform to actually do that.
Yeah, for sure.
So when I found this company, for example, I was working at South Monte High School, so I graduated from Ohio University. I played football. And
we're coaching together.
And we were coaching together at the time.
Yeah.
Dude, I was making, so I got 3 degrees, I was making $13.50 an hour. I said, oh my God, I said, I did everything right. I went to school, I got the concussions, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I said, I had so much fun in college. I came back with the baby, with my wife, right?
They didn't have a TV, so.
Yeah.
Just in case you want to know, they didn't have a TV.
Right, and it was no TVs in Ohio, right? And so I came back and I couldn't find a job for 6 months.
Wow.
And my first job was at South Monte High School, which was humble beginnings,
Yeah, for sure.
right? And I said, man, everybody would try to freaking give me an opportunity, but it wasn't what I was worth.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people sell themselves short.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't want to do that, right? So long story short, I met a lady by the name of Maria Hernandez, which forever changed my life, which was the secretary.
She's working in guidance, right?
In guidance. She forever changed my life, right? I had interviewed for Prudential, to work for Prudential in the financial service industry, but it wasn't for me because corporate America.
Yeah.
And so long story short, she introduced to someone and then she introduced to World Financial Group, and forever since then, man, it changed my family's life, my destiny. And and my purpose and just my goals,
sure.
just getting after it. So.
And I like how you said, like, you guys started off with humble beginnings, and I can see how passionate you are about what you're doing and how you speak about it, because usually when you're talking to me, I'm like, oh man, Joe likes to mess around, but I can just see the passion coming out when you're actually speaking, and the passion to actually want to help people. And I don't know if you guys can hear outside, but his team is super fun. Like, I don't know if you guys can hear that.
They're fired up right now.
But they're fired up,
Yeah.
man. And when did you guys get this office?
So we actually opened up until the vision happened for a minute, and we were looking at a couple of spots, but I believe that God planned his office for a reason.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
wanted us in Monrovia, and
Yeah.
we've been here since December 1st, I believe.
That's my birthday.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
So that's when we opened the shop in Monrovia, California. So we have 7 offices, 1 out of 7. And so, you know, and what's also about this office is that we have great people, great community, and I'm excited to see how we can impact the community in just the local Seguro Valley area. And not just that, but I want to get globally because I'm in a mission of helping 1,000 families by 2020,
Nice.
right? And the reason why is because if I grew up in a very minority middle class family, and financially, my parents didn't know what a retirement account was. They don't know what Social Security is, right? And if you look at that, is our inner city kids are not being educated when it comes financially of how to do things, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so I have a mission that I want to get out there, and I want to spread the word, and I want to, you know, help as many families as I can.
Yeah.
You know, in the process to communities and start scholarship funds, and I'm working on a foundation with one of my buddies for kids with heart disease, and it's just a lot of great things that are going to happen, and I'm just super excited for that.
Nice, man, and I'm super excited for you and your wife and what you guys are doing, man. Again, I just want to thank you for having us here.
Yeah.
Again, guys, if you guys don't know, if you're just joining us, his name is Joe Morales. Go look for him on Instagram.
Yeah, Joe B. Morales.
Joe B. Morales,
Yeah,
and you'll find him. I'm gonna tag him in a post later so you can check him out, check out his page. And he's really here to help people, guys. He wants to help not only families that actually need his services, but he wants to help those people who want to grow, right? And that's why we decided to get together, right? We had those conversations about starting a mastermind and getting people going from not only our community, but like you said, around the world. Like you said, you have a mission to help 1,000 families out, right?
Right.
So like even with me, we're all goal oriented, I guess you can say. We're all reaching for something. One of my biggest goals is to help bring 1 million people to have a relationship with Christ.
Wow.
Right, and this is kind of part of it right here.
Right.
But I know if we can get guys or just not guys, but people that have that same passion, that same drive to get it going. But we all have to start somewhere.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to tell everybody here, that we all have to start somewhere, and it's not going to be easy. So talk a little bit about your struggles. I know growing up, you had mentioned to me you had struggles with your speech, with people doubting, support, and so can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So my first language is actually Spanish.
Yeah.
Right. So growing up, I think genetically my family has a stuttering problem.
Yeah, same here.
Right. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So growing up, I stuttered so much. And people used to make fun of me, my family, my friends.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple things. There's a couple ways to look at it. You could look at it as a victim standpoint, or you could look at it as a blessing.
Yeah.
For me, God, that's the biggest blessing that God has ever gave me. Yeah. Right. And the fact is because He built this charisma in me. He built this class clown, I guess, when I was in school, and I became likable. But in the process, I got bullied. People made fun of me. They hurt my feelings, right? People were just jerks, and they didn't understand. But what happened is that God was just building me to become the strong person who I am now, right? And so if you have a speech problem or disability, that's your biggest blessing.
Yeah.
See, something God gives His biggest blessing to His biggest warriors, and it's something you got to just realize that and identify it. And once you embrace it, right, and you move forward and you take action. Man, that's probably one of the biggest things that you might be missing in your life right now.
Yeah, definitely, because it holds a lot of people back, right?
Right.
A lot of people they let their circumstances or whatever they're really going through hold them back for where God or wherever they believe they're supposed to be, right? They always make excuses. My family's always been broke. We grew up, lower class. I have a speech. I'm fat. Whatever the case is, you know what I mean?
Right.
No, but people they really allow themselves to think, hey, I can't do this because I have this. But you didn't allow that to take over, right?
Right.
You pushed through it, and I was there. I was there when I got moved up to varsity my freshman year, and some of those guys would say stuff, and I'm like, bro, this guy's the middle linebacker. Like, guys, really quick, I know I'm going on a side note, but this guy was crazy in football. I remember when we used to play at Fullerton together, and I think that's how when we really connected. I know I'm going a little off track, but we really connected when you would give me rides home.
Right.
Ride home every
Right.
single
Remember
day.
that? Yeah.
We would go pick up your
The
wife.
sacrifices, man.
Yeah.
The
And
sacrifices.
and that's how I knew he was a good dude, because he didn't. I was on the freaking scout team, and this guy was a starting middle linebacker, you know, and he didn't care what I was, but he seen the potential in me, and we would have nice conversations on the way home.
Right, yeah.
And that's where I think that's where we really connected. But this guy was crazy. I remember during practice, we would run the scout offense, and he was a middle linebacker, and then we'll get up to the line. He's like, sweeps. I'm
Yeah.
like, Joe, why do you freaking know?
Right.
But that all came with preparation, right?
Well, yeah, and like it's anything in life, right? A lot of people have these goals and dreams, right? So I was having this conversation the other day with a friend of mine, and he goes, "Yeah, man, I have these goals and dreams. I want this car, I want this house, I want this for my family." And I said, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" He said, "Like, yeah." I said, the house and the car you desire, your goals and dreams, are they congruent with what you're doing right now in life?"
Yeah.
And their answer is no. I said, it's
Sure.
great that you have goals, but what are you doing to get there?
Yeah.
Right. So it's the same thing in football. So the reason why I was a great football player is not because I was fast. It's not because I was tall. I was actually the slowest linebacker. I was probably the smallest linebacker.
Yeah.
I wasn't the strongest, but I watched a lot of film.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
was prepared.
Yeah.
It's anything like you gotta be prepared when you go out there. So when you go out there, you know exactly what to do. It's you're subconsciously already acting and reacting,
Yeah.
right? And that's what's called the slight edge, right? You might be faster, you might be bigger, but my slight edge is that I'm doing the work off the field
Every single day.
every single day.
Yeah.
And the fact that I knew that I deserved it is the difference. See, a lot of people take shortcuts. A lot of people do things, differently. But do you feel like you deserve it at the end of the day? Right? And that's all that matters. So if you know that, hey, I went all in and all out, then you deserve it. That's all that matters. A lot of people feel that like they don't deserve it. That's why they never take action.
Yeah, so you have the confidence.
Confidence.
So you have the confidence, preparation, and like you said, the slight edge. I read the book. It's actually a really good book, and it's kind of like the compound effect that, what you do daily is going to get you where you want to be. So, thank you for sharing that. Also, I wanted to just kind of touch on, I know you said you have like people who doubt us.
Right.
And then we start doubting ourselves. Can you share a little bit about doubting?
Definitely. Yeah. So early on in my career, because what I do is I deal with money, right?
Yeah.
And I look at the time I started, I was 23 years old. I had no experience in the financial industry, and all my friends, what I saw is that people that doubt you, the people that are gonna doubt you are your closest friends, your closest family members.
They're scared.
They're scared.
Yeah.
But what it is that they're scared for you because they care about you.
Yeah.
Right.
Really.
And there's a time in my career where I neglected all the people that were doubting me, and it's because, hey, I said this is a time where I need to grow and I need to be a sponge to my mentors and my coaches.
Yeah.
And what I did is say, hey, I looked at all my life and all people that were doubting me is that, hey, this person and that person. And I love them all.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
But I said, but do I wish my life, my family, my kids, do I wish my life, do I wish my life, do I want to be like them?
Yeah.
Or do I wish my kids have, I guess this is where I put it, but do I wish my life upon them, right? And the answer is no. I said, hey, I do not want to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't want that life that I'm not going to listen to you.
It's kind of like taking advice from your broke uncle about
Right.
money. Yeah, it's like,
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet, but I'm gonna get to it.
Support that.
I heard it's a really good book, but yeah, because I know a lot of times when family, especially family, right? They're like, "Hey, Joe, what are you doing?" Or, "Hey, Robert, what are you doing?" Like, you can't do that. But I think a lot of times they're actually scared for you that you may fail.
Right.
And go ahead.
Well, no, that's actually they're scared because they can see themselves doing it.
That's true.
So it's not that Robert can't do it.
Yeah.
It's that they're telling themselves why they can't do it, so therefore you can't do it.
Yeah.
So when doubt comes, it's like you gotta be strong. You gotta see. That's where I talk about surviving, and then they're surviving and chasing your dreams. A lot of people survive just to survive. So if you're not passionate about your goals and dreams and about what you're doing in life, like I asked Robert, if you ask me why am I so excited about what I do, because I have a crusade, I have a mission.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? I love to see the single moms or the single dads or the couples getting after, working together to chase their goals and dreams, right?
Yeah.
But then you have someone here that's chasing money. There's nothing wrong with chasing money, but maybe they're called achievers. They have a great month, they go up, but then they go down because they lost their purpose. They made some money, and then what?
It's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable no more.
Yeah.
So what's the purpose? What's the mission behind what you're doing? Once that becomes strong enough, right? It's like, what's faith without or what's vision without a faith?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So you have to have faith. You have to have faith before you actually get there. But in the process, you got to work on your habits. You got to work on the little small things and the ups and downs and the hard times. And I remember the times where I'd have money to put gas in my car. It's either, hey, do I put gas in my car or do I buy Pampers for my kid?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? I remember those days, and it's kind of like, man. And I look back, I said, those are the blessings that you got to embrace.
For sure.
Because one day you're going to be able to coach people through that.
Yeah.
I know how you feel because I've been there. Right? Success doesn't happen overnight. You got to go through the struggles to get there.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
You got to door knock.
Yeah.
The fact that you're still door knocking, by the way, that tells me you're in the game.
Yeah. No,
the fact that you're cold calling, that tells me you're in the game.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, it's like, if I ever look for a realtor, for example, I say, who's your door knocking? Who's your cold calling? Because their skin is still in the game.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And that's what I want to work with,
They're
right?
still hungry.
They're still hungry.
Yeah.
Right? That's the next level type of stuff.
And I know that you kind of already shared it, but what I really want to know is, why are you so driven? What's your why?
You know, honestly, there's the honest truth, and there's a couple whys, but the number one reason, when I came to our firm, it's like football over again. So in football, like if I ask you, what's one thing you miss about football?
The competition, or even just the environment with my friends.
Right. The locker room.
Yeah, the locker room.
The locker room talk. So when I came here, it's like, dude, it's like my locker room. Dude, I can have these conversations about life, about everything, and because in football, the locker room talks one of the best talks.
Yeah, for sure.
And brotherhood. Yeah, that's when we built the family environment. So then we had so here we have scoreboards,
nice.
Right? It's from 500 and to number one. What drives me is that I want my team to be number one.
Nice.
And I know if my team number one, that means I'm creating a culture that we're winning. They're winning for the families. They're winning for the kids. They're chasing their goals and dreams. That would drive me. People drive me. Their goals and dreams drive me.
Yeah.
Right. Another thing that drives me is I always want to become the best version of me.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And people say like just the other day, someone messaged me on Instagram like, "Don't you ever stop?"
No.
I said no. I said, aren't you satisfied? And the answer is no, I'm not satisfied, because the minute that I become satisfied is, for me, it's like I'm losing, because I'm plateauing in my life.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's always the next level of things, right? There's always the next level of who you really are, and it's different phases. And then another big why is my wife and my kids.
Yeah, for sure. That's probably the biggest, right?
And see, a lot of people use their kids and their wife as an excuse.
Yeah. I
use them, and as if there's no excuses.
That's good. That's good.
You cannot use your kids and your wives as an excuse why you can't win in life.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people do that. And here's what I tell my kids and my son. I involve them in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They know our goals. And if we hit certain goals, then we'll go to a family trip. We'll do this. We'll do that.
Espi was actually just telling me that if you guys hit a certain amount of points, then you guys go to
Legoland.
Legoland.
Yeah. And my son's so fired up. So it's exciting. So my son knows why daddy's out late at night helping families.
Yeah, for sure.
But here's the thing: if you're an entrepreneur and you're working a business, at the end of the day, you gotta bring the bread.
Yeah.
You gotta win.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? You can't go out there and sacrifice your family's time, sacrifice your kids' time, and not make any money.
Yeah.
Or not help any people.
Yeah.
Or not be doing the things that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right? So it goes kind of hand is if you're gonna sacrifice that, and it's not forever, Robert.
Yeah,
See, people
sure.
think it's a sacrifice not forever, because eventually you build a business that will, it's called residual income, where it pays you no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So it's a small struggle at the beginning for a big reward, right?
Yeah.
So what I tell you out there, like, yeah, but my kids have soccer, but my kids have baseball game, and I gotta invest in my kids. Yeah, you do. But do you want to know what the biggest investment you could ever give your kids?
What is that?
Is that you freaking win in life.
Yeah.
Because monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, be that role model.
Be the role model. If your kids see if their dad beat up, their mom beat up, a marriage that's just crumbling, that's what you're gonna transfer. That's the legacy that you're gonna leave to them.
If you decide to, right?
If you decide to.
Yeah, if you let it just kind of overtake your whole life, and again going back to, hey, my family's, they always been alcoholics, so I'm an alcoholic.
Right.
Or they always been drug addicts, so that's why I'm a drug addict.
Right.
But at the same time, we know that you can get past that, because like how you spoke about how getting out of Almani, we're not really getting out of Almani, but getting out of the circumstances that were in Almani, and striving for more, man. So.
Right. No, and see, a lot of people get stuck in what I call, it's called the rat race, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people there's a lot of people that have good careers. So like if you're a nurse or you're a doctor, or if you love what you're doing and you really love your job, like that's your dream job, that's awesome, right? And I'll applaud you for that, because a lot of people don't love their job.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but there's a lot of people out there that don't love their job, and they're being bought for a paycheck. They're being bought for whatever the case may be. So that's a touchy subject, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But once you learn what's called the earning power, right, and what you're worth an hour. See, time is something that you never get back.
No.
And my time is not worth $10 an hour. It's not worth $12 an hour. Even $50. It's not even worth $100 an hour. No. Because my time is priceless.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of people out there that have goals and dreams. And guess what? There's like a stove. It's called a pilot, right? The circle, the circle to click, click,
Yeah, for sure.
and eventually you get the right click, and it goes, and the freeze turn on. What deep down inside, we all have a pilot. We all have a why. We all have a reason, but it's buried inside because we've been beat up by life by so much. We don't think we could do it, right? Or we're partly just feel like, man, like I don't know if I can get after my goals and dreams. It's big, right? The fact that it's big is scary, but that's awesome, right? So then you gotta click. You gotta find an opportunity. You gotta find some mentors, some coaches that are willing to give you an opportunity, that are willing to invest time in you, right? Click, and all of a sudden, you feel like you're revived. And it's awesome because God will give you another, and the minute that you decide, God will give you the opportunity to get after, and He will present the right people in your life to help you do that.
Yeah.
Right? It's not, people say, well, it's not all about money. It's not all about money.
It's definitely
not all about money. Right? There's bigger purposes out there.
But money's good.
Money's good.
Money's a tool.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Money is a tool. Right? One day we'll have foundations in vehicles.
Yeah.
Oh, money's a tool.
Yeah.
People
good.
just, and see, there's people that are jerks without money. When they have it, they'll be jerks. But there's people like you and I that when we have money, we're gonna, when we do have money, but we're gonna give an abundance of love to everybody.
Yeah.
And we're about to partner up and do some great things. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
too.
no, I'm excited about too, and I like how you spoke about the time, and that's something we don't get back, guys. We don't get our time back. We can't buy more time. That's what everyone has in common, right?
Right.
So if you think about all the billionaires, all the millionaires, all the people who stay-at-home dads, they all have the same thing. And if you're a stay-at-home dad, that's cool, but that's just not what I want. But
right. and some of that might be your dream.
Hey.
But the question is this: 18 years from now, your kids are no longer going to be home. And if you're living your life for your kids, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, okay, what am I going to do for myself?
Yeah, for sure.
Am I really fulfilled, right? And to be honest with you, I know a lot of stay-at-home moms. I know a lot of stay-at-home dads. They're some of the greatest people.
Yeah,
they're
so loving. A lot of potential.
A lot of potential, but they're so loving.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So great people, man. So.
Yeah, and I used to joke around before. So if you're a stay-at-home dad, please don't take this too serious. But I used to call them SADs.
SADs?
Yeah, stay S and then at home dads.
Oh,
SADs.
That's I never heard that before.
Yeah, but guys, again, I just want to thank Joe for being on here and sharing all that wisdom, man. That was really good stuff. I mean, I didn't really have to say anything this time, and you just throw out all these nuggets, bro.
Yeah.
And you.
Well, there's good because in life, right? See, there's a lot of people out there that I'm a big believer that if I'm gonna listen to someone that's successful, they gotta be congruent, meaning that their heart and mind are still active in the game.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of people out there that do this podcast or self-development things, and they're not doing that. They're using this to make money.
Yeah.
Right? It said, okay, but you really never done anything in your life, so I can't listen to you.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're here and you're congruent with your life, meaning that you're still doing the things and you're grinding every single day.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Is that you speak from the heart, you speak for the moment, and people can relate to that because you're going through the process.
Yeah.
Right? Is people can relate to someone that's making $1 million and speaks at that mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they don't know what the process is. See, it's not like if I listen to Ray Dalio or Warren Buffett, I'm not going to become successful overnight.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
Warren Buffett didn't become wealthy in his 50s.
Yeah.
Right? So what's cool about it is that you're congruent, and I love that, man. And and I'm excited.
And that's what we're really trying to just let everybody else know that, hey, we're we've been in the same position as you, and we're still going through the process. We're still trying to figure stuff out. We're not perfect, obviously,
No,
right?
definitely not.
You don't have everything figured out.
No,
I don't.
I definitely don't have everything figured out, but I got maybe one or two things figured out that has helped me in life, right?
And it starts with the mindset. Yeah, and making good connections like this, guys. He doesn't have to do this, you know. I don't have to do this. This is something that we're choosing to do, and he took out of his busy schedule. He has a meeting going on right now, and he was able to step away because I asked him, and he's like, yeah, let's do it, bro. Like, let's give back to our community. Let's give back to the people who look up to us, or who are maybe in that spot right now where they're like, man, I can't, I'm not doing anything right, and they're stuck. And just maybe hearing from us and hearing what we've been through, that might just be able to help them out and get out and get moving, because you can't get any results without actually moving.
Right. So being stuck is cured by taking action.
Yeah.
A lot of people get stuck but no action.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do I get out of it? Like people say, well, see, people always talk about a comeback. I said, if you're worried about a comeback, you're never gonna come back because you're thinking about the past.
Yeah.
You gotta think about now and where you're going.
Yeah. Learn from the past and move on.
Move on. So people ask me, oh, dude, I'm about to make a comeback. Don't worry about the comeback.
Yeah. What are you doing right now?
Right, because your momentum now is not the same. Like, if I try to go back and compare myself to the 18-year-old, 19-year-old that played football and that was healthy now, and like my body's way different. I have like knee surgeries, I have shoulder surgery, foot surgeries. I'll never be that guy again.
Yeah, no.
So if I try to compare the comeback to that guy, that's never gonna happen. So I'm always gonna be dissatisfied.
Yeah.
Right? Now, guys, it's okay. I am where I am now, and based on where I'm at now, where can I go, and what are my goals for the future, and what can I do to implement to strive towards that? Right? Can that make sense?
Yeah, that's good.
So that's some good stuff, man. Oh, that's deep stuff.
I appreciate you. I know you have to get going. We had a timeline about 7:05, and I know I don't want to take too much of your time, but again, guys, this is Joe Morales. Go look for him on Instagram, Facebook. If you guys need any of his services, or just want to reach out to him and pick his brain, I'm sure you're willing to do that.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And I don't think that this will be the end of our journey together.
No, for sure.
We've been in talks. You know, we grew up in a city that has a lot of great people, entrepreneurs. Yeah. And we want to just pick their brains. And there's a lot of people that are self-made and have gone through the struggles. And there's more stories. And sometime we'll get a chance to talk about more. But
yeah.
I'm so excited for you, Robert, and
Thanks,
and you and your wife, and all the great stuff that you're actually doing. And I appreciate you having me on the show. I know for a fact that you're gonna be successful in your career.
Thank you,
and we always talk, and that's also about having a community partners. I call you, hey, where you at for the month, or where you are for the quarter, and
how many homes have you sold?
And all that stuff, and it's great to have a relationship. Like, we're not even in the same industry, but we have a good relationship where we can still be accountable to each other, and that's pretty cool.
Recently, we've been talking at least once a week.
Yeah, at least.
So
at least.
Guys, we want to get a mastermind going. We kind of just been throwing it out, so we'll see how that goes.
No, definitely. I think we should do a mastermind. I think that'd be a great idea, man. I think there's a lot of people out there that have great hearts, and and their stories need to be heard, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I ran into a guy from South of Monte just the other day, and his name is Adam. Play baseball.
Okay.
And dude, very successful now. He was talking about his struggle. Has air conditioning business and stuff like that. I said, man, it's cool to see people that are just doing it.
Nice, man. You're gonna have to connect them with me so I can
definitely
talk to him a little
baseball
bit.
Player. I think he played like in the minor leagues for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys.
Crazy.
All right, man. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys again for being on, and you know what? If nobody loves you, Jesus loves you. So you guys have a good one. Stay blessed, and feel free to share this with anyone who may need it. I hope the audio worked today. I really hope it worked. If not, it's okay. We got audio right here. We got it over there. We got it going. All right, guys. So you guys have an amazing day.
Yeah, but appreciate you, man.
Thanks,
Thank you.
brother.
Take care, you guys. We'll see you at the top. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
So,
all right, let's end these videos, huh? I really hope I got this, bro.
I think we got it. I had 35 likes. You? Over the way.
All right. I can do that. So
I have it online.